Hi everyone, Steve here. This video is going to be for anybody just about to start a new season like we are here in Dubai, or for you guys who've got problems with consistency. Now, it's interesting to consider why pros become pros. They become pros because they start as children. Well, that's less to do with the fact that therefore they've been doing it for years, but more to do with the fact that a child has no controlling features over the mallet. Therefore, the physics is always the same. The timing's the same. How a child arrives at a ball and how they get their mallet to the back of a reach is completely different to an adult who has the ability to manipulate and manufacture a shot. So in this video, we're going to look at all of the physics and the stages I go through with a student who's come with problems having not played for about 6 months. Hitting a ball from a moving horse with a mallet is actually not that difficult. It's just physics. And I know that that's dull when we have to address the physics, but often half the battle of learning anything is to understand how it works in the first place. Now, at the heart and soul of all really good offside forehands is basically, if you strip it down, it's just a revolution of the shoulder socket. But in its entirety, if you watch this guy, he's actually cheating at the top. And yet what he needs to do is to understand how it feels to be pure in its perfect form. Then he will just put some structure internally. So here he is aspiring to feel what the biggest stretch he can. If he pointed his stick forward, this is not that far away from being from producing a 60-yard penalty, for example. But he'd need to know where the extreme points are of this shoulder socket revolution. So here he is at 9 o'clock, feeling his shoulder socket. Now he's going to come down to 6 o'clock, so he knows what the bottom of the swing feels like. And you can see the circumference that his shoulder socket is making. Now, once he's done that, he now knows what he's meant to feel. And if you watch him from the front, when he does conform to this and swing it over, look at the effect it has on his body with his left shoulder, his left groin, and the thigh rolling in on the left. So he's identifying the points, and as he starts to swing it around and around, he's going to realize he's going to use the body to swing the mallet, less the arm. And body hitting is always so much more powerful than arm hitting alone. So let me just give you a quick example of that. Hero Del Carril, 9 goals. Look at the body swinging the mallet. Now, all good shots contain pendulums, so this client was asked to pinch this mallet finger and thumb so he didn't interfere and swing a pendulum. But this guy has been having trouble with his hitting for months, and it's hardly surprising because that was not a pendulum. A pendulum needs to have moments of suspension and areas of gathering speed, so accelerate, decelerate, and mirror images either side. So once he knows what that feels like, then he can apply the feeling he felt on his fingers to his shoulder socket. So a smiley is the term given to the action that you're going to take to get from the carry position to the furthest point behind. Now, there is an old technical way of pulling the mallet and going in a straight line, which has its benefits. The problem with that is it sets quite an aggressive theme. The second thing is, as I pull it intentionally, this is going to start to collapse. So it's going to be smiley it down, collect the elbow, the shoulder, and then to the reach. If I pull it now, the shoulder's already in the destination, and that's why it's going to go flat. So if you're having trouble with distance or height, it's because your shoulder never actually achieved the circumference of the original fabric of a shot, which is a shoulder socket revolution. So have a look at the shoulder now, look where it goes, and that is part of my revolution. Otherwise, as I come here with the elbow down, I'm going to collapse it, it stays down, this collapses, I'll find a plane, granted, and I'll probably still hit a ball, but it will always be a weak shot. So here's the client again demonstrating exactly the problem you have if you pull the mallet backward using your forearm rather than trying to create a sensation using the elbow and the shoulder socket to the reach. He will have hit a ball perhaps and he found a plane, but all he's going to be encouraged to do when he starts at 9 o'clock is just trying to hit the ball further and harder. So the ball is only going to travel as far as he was strong on that day of play. Now, the exercise to do to resolve this problem is to firstly lift the mallet to a vertical position, then lift the elbow exactly opposite so you create a crucial right angle between the mallet and the forearm. Now, you're not going to play like that, this is for training purposes, but on the approach to the ball, the elbow is going to be down, so it's good to train. Lift the elbow, create the right angle, draw the elbow back and find the shoulder socket revolution.
So let's have a look at this pro again. So follow the journey of his hand under his rib cage, and that allows him to extend the shoulder socket to 11 o'clock, and then he's just going to swing the body to an opposite image. So here's our student practicing how to create the right angle and maintain it as he produces a smiley under his rib cage and driving the left shoulder. And just follow the shape of Khalil's hand and the journey it takes. So now we know about the journeys, this client has been asked to establish his shoulder socket revolution, and once he's found suspension, he's going to pull and create his crucial angle between mallet and forearm now, under his rib cage to drive the left shoulder, massive reach to 11, and then he's going to use his left shoulder right knee combination to swing the body. Now, physics dictates that the mallet is already correct before the human interferes with it. So what should become really apparent and significant is the enormity on the requirement to become versatile in the saddle. Now, this is a fantastic exercise that will tell you what your body's meant to feel like and the position it needs to adopt at the top of the reach and at the bottom. You then just need to focus on the shoulder socket revolution. So now that he knows all of his feelings, and we've talked about feelings a lot in this video, it's a series of sensations in the right order. And he is now opposite images. So here he is taking his new swing. It was a bit high up the rib cage, but his body is now versatile because he's just told himself what it should feel like. And whilst this is still work in progress, this image doesn't even look like the same human hitting a ball. So if we compare him from what he was to what he is now, just by adjusting a couple of things. And with most polo shots, a lot of it is just about the detail and the intention. So these two images show his intention was to go to the back 11 and to finish in an exact opposite image. The ball is just in the middle of that gymnastic maneuver. So let's have a look at how it started. I mean, that is a horrible image. It's actually making my retinas bleed looking at that. And it doesn't have to look like that as long as there's an understanding and a checklist of what happens first. Look at him now after just a couple of sessions. The whole intention has changed and the result, of course, has changed. Now guys, if you have become despondent or deflated or frustrated with your polo, remember it's not that you can't, it's just that you've been compromising the physics. If you just looked at Hero Del Khalil, 9 goals. And this student actually, now that he's following the same technique, isn't that far off looking the same.
Now, if you do have problems with consistency, the best thing is to just, like a car engine, take it out, take it apart, find out where the problem is, polish it, replace it, and put it back together. So it's a really good habit to get into early on, is to not measure the success on how far the ball goes or whether you made contact with it at all, but more so to address the theme of, if there were spectators watching, what words would they hold up to describe what they saw? Was it elastic? Was it gymnastic? Was it fluid? Or was it aggressive? Was it intentional? And was it desperate? So address the theme and then put the structure together. Remember, the ball is in the middle of a gymnastic maneuver. The ball is not the destination for the stickhead. Right, I hope that helped, and as always, if you need any more help, tips or advice, pop over to my website stevethompsonpolo.com or my YouTube channel Steve Thompson Polo, and TikTok Steve Thompson Polo 3. I don't know what the 3's for, but and I see you on the pitch or the screen. See you next time.